Hello and welcome back to Gardening for Health and Wellbeing. So today we're going to do a quick garden tour for May. I forgot to do one for April, so here we go. Let's get started. So I just did a short just the other day. This is the lemon tree that I got my 6 lemons off. That's still looking really healthy. I will be pruning it eventually, just to relieve some of those branches that are crossing over, especially in the center, and to give it a bit more shape as well. But I'm still needing some ideas of what to do with those lemons that I got and how I should preserve them if that's what I'm going to do, or just recipes that I can use them generally. So here in the beds on the deck is our basil plants, and we also have all of the cayenne chilies. They're growing quite nicely. And here we have the big Jim chilies as well. The basil plants are getting very large and bushy. They do need a bit of water. As you can see, they look a bit dried out, so that's what I'll be doing a bit later. But then in these pots, this is originally where we had some blueberry cuttings that failed to take off once I transplanted them in here, and then I put in some garlic, which the chickens decided to dig up, and they didn't come to anything. And I had put in some nice fresh chook manure from my own backyard chickens into these pots to fertilize the garlic as well. And these tomato plants actually came up from that, and it looks like they're little cherry tomatoes. So we've got lots growing on those, lots of trusses on them, and I can't wait for them to go red so we can harvest them and eat them. So next we'll go to our garden beds. So over in this bed here we have some kohlrabi, which I planted. I've never planted or even eaten kohlrabi before, so there's 6 plants in here as a test run. I do have some seedlings also in pots. I'm thinking about putting them out the front of the house to see if anybody wants to buy them, and I'll just probably put like 50 cents on them or something. But yeah, we've also got some kale plants in here, and there's 2 basil plants in this one as well. And then we've got the passion fruit vine, which is reaching all the way over from a bed down there. In the next bed, it's looking quite bare, but I have recently planted some potatoes. There are 10 potatoes in this bed, and I have sprinkled some flower seeds in here as well, so we'll see what happens in that bed. In this bed, it's got a transplant from a broken branch off of my yellow habanero, and it looks like it's taking. And we've got some zinnia plants. I have deheaded some of these and just sprinkled the seeds. That's actually what's in this bed over here. And then last year I saved some, I think it's pak choi seeds, and I wasn't sure if they were going to be viable or not, so I just sowed all of them liberally over the bed, and yep, they're definitely viable. So I'm thinking of even up-potting some of those and putting them out the front in about a week or 2 time when they take settle into the pot. So that's what I'm going to do there. Next bed is where the mustard yellow habaneros are, And I do have a couple of lettuce starting to come up from save seed last year. I just sprinkled them in there randomly just to see what would happen. But yeah, they're growing quite nicely. And in the next bed, this basil down here is berserk. I really need to prop it back a little bit because hiding in amongst them are some transplanted kale plants. Now there were 9 in here. I think 2 or 3 of them have been chopped down by something. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, we'll see what happens with those. Here we've got the 2 passion fruit vines that have survived. I also gave 1 away, and then 2 I think just randomly died. I'm not sure why. And down next to the compost bin is my comfrey. I am thinking of creating a comfrey tea so that I can fertilize all of my plants. That's the compost bin which I just added to just recently, full of lots of green. I did add browns not long ago. And then in this bed, the turmeric and the ginger, as it's in winter night right now, has started to die back. I do need to top that bed up too, so I'll probably use the soil from the chicken area. Now we're going to walk this way to the fruit area, just because there's too much stuff around the back of the shed. I've been storing lots of things over there. So here is some of the leftover kohlrabi, and I don't know if this is a weed here or what that is, but it's growing quite slow, so I'm unsure of what it could be. So if anyone knows, let me know. Then we've got some more random tomato plants that just decided to pop up. I'm guessing they're probably going to be cherry tomatoes as well. Then we go over to the seedlings over here. We've got more kale plants. I am thinking of putting maybe 4 more into my garden beds, and then the rest I'll probably put out the front. We've got a Malabar spinach from someone from my work. They gave it to me to try out, so that's an experiment for me. Then someone gave us some what are they called? Pawpaws. We're going to see what happens with these. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to go, but I just transplanted them in here, and yeah, we'll see what happens. In this one I've got some caramel tea, caramel that I will be making caramel tea out of. I've got high contamination all 3 of these little pots here, so once I get a little bit bigger I will be transplanting those. So tray there, this one's got spinach, I don't think there's anything growing as such. I'm not sure if that's part of the spinach or not, or if it's a weed, but we'll soon find out. I will let it grow. From where they are situated, it could very well be the spinach, so we'll give it a go. Next over here, my zinnias are starting to die back. I've already chopped off the sunflowers, and I have saved the seed from those so that I can grow those for next year. And I've put them in a bag to safeguard those seeds. In here we've got the lemon balm, and underneath there somewhere is more smaller varieties of zinnias as well. And in this pot over here we have some random tomato plants, and some of the garlic looks like it started to come back. It did disappear on me, so like I said, the chickens did scratch it up. So now they're locked away in there. And during this growing season, it's quite an important growing season over the winter for us. There we go. Best tomatoes and everything. It's not too hot in the summer. Here we've got thyme, sage, and celery is still growing slowly. I'm not sure how it's going to go. This little pot, same thing, but it's dying back a little bit, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there. My chives have come back. I'm going to harvest some of those again and dehydrate them so I can use them, because I've been using the other ones quite a lot. Some leeks and spring onions, along with a cut back plum, and it is growing really nicely. This is the shape that I wanted, like the wine glass sort of a shape, so I'm really happy with that. I am thinking of cutting this one off because that's just way too long. I am going to probably take it all the way back to this V-neck here and just have the one stem, and I'm thinking of doing that with the other plum as well, just because I think it will create a more stronger plant in the long run. So over here we have some of the carrots. They don't look very well because someone's been eating the top. And then we've got some more flowers. These are starting to die back, probably because of the cooler weather. Next, the peach tree. Starting to drop its leaves because it's getting cooler. Another lemon. This is one of the newer lemons that I've had. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some fruit next year on this one, and we'll see what happens. There is a random tomato plant in there as well, and I think I've got one or two leeks in there as well. Next one, there are more leeks in here. These ones are growing really well, and then that is in my lime pot. The mandarin, this is where there was some fruit on here, but the possums came and ate it, and all of the flowers that were under here all flowered nicely, and then they died off, so I've taken them out. Next, here we've got the oregano and the mulberry. Then over here we've got all the chickens. So my 4 big girls, and then there's the 9 smaller girls, the black Australorp. I'm not sure if they're straight run black Australorp or if they're a crossbreed, as they were from a local childcare centre program that they had. And I've still got all 9 of them. I'm waiting until they're about 16 to 20 weeks old, in that time frame, because that's when the roosters should start to crow, and then I'll take all the roosters up to a local farm that's close by. Well, I say close by, it's still probably a good half an hour away, and they'll hopefully rehome them and not use them for meat. We've got one which has a really red chest, that we think is definitely a rooster, unfortunately, because it's so pretty. We have named him Robin because of his red chest. And here I've got a new chook shed that I am working on piecing together, because I will be keeping 2 of those black Australorp ladies, and then the rest I will be rehoming to a cousin and hopefully some friends as well. But yeah, that concludes the garden tour for May. In the next video I might have my chicken shed uploaded, and we'll see how we get situated with that. And setting it all up with like the roosts and the lay boxes. But until then, bye.